Okay, now live. Can we just wait for people to come in?
Okay.
Okay.
Video call during communication.
Okay, we'll just start.
Interview.
Okay. Hi guys, welcome to the 22nd DID live chat. We have 30 minutes today. It's the second last live chat. So if any burning questions, just feel free to ask anything lah. So just click onto the questions icon at the bottom of the screen and then we can pin it and everybody can follow. Okay. Hi guys. Okay, there are about 2, 4, 3 people. Okay. We'll just wait. Okay, so we have Prof Ki Hong today and 2 year 4 students, Sherwin. Unwei. Okay, we'll just get Ki Hong to just introduce yourself.
Hey, hello. I'm Ki Hong here. I'm a tutor here and I come from the industry. My main role here is to align design education to the industry, obviously, so that our graduate can hit after they graduate, they can get a job easily. And when they do get a job, they can hit the ground running. So that's more or less my aim in this program. And a lot of time what I do for my teaching is that I bring in collaborators. So like I brought in DBS, Philips, HP, and even government agency like MOM. I just did one with GovTech last semester. This semester I'm working in Samsung, and I even work with the Prime Minister's office. So that our student can get a very all-rounded design education, very real, very authentic, very aligned with the industry here.
Hey, Wei Peng just joined. Hi. Yeah, guys. Okay. So if you just came in, just feel free to ask any questions in the questions icon, and they'll answer for you. Okay. Okay. Thanks, Ki Hong, for the short intro. Sherwin, did you tell us more about what you were doing before ID?
Right. Okay. So I'm Sherwin. I'm a year 4 in ID now. Before ID, I actually grew up in Thailand. So I was there for 18 years. I was kind of doing some kind of engineering focused kind of degree, and then I had to go for army. And then during those 2 years, I kind of decided like, maybe engineering is not really for me. I want to do something a bit more artistic, something more hands-on. And I was looking through the NUS courses, and I found ID, and I thought it was like something very intriguing. So I went to Google like, what does an industrial designer do? And then like reading all the requirements and all the things that they do on a day-to-day basis, it really struck me as something that I could live with, I could do for quite a few years as a career. And so I was like, you know what, I'm just going to try and do it. And here I am in year 4, like almost graduating soon. Yeah.
Could you tell us more about what you're doing now?
What I'm doing now?
What
my thesis project. My thesis project is I'm designing for a paraplegic. So paraplegics are people that lost motor and sensor control of their lower limbs. I'm trying to help them to maintain their health through exercise. So I'm designing exercise equipment for paraplegics. Yeah.
How long more? Actually, a few weeks.
About a month more.
A month.
More. Yeah. Until we're done.
Okay. We have Unwei.
Hi.
Tell us a bit more about yourself.
Hi, I'm Unwei. I'm a year 4 student, and I'm actually working on preventing fires in the kitchen. So I'm actually redesigning automated fire extinguisher, and it's a system where it helps to prevent fires in the kitchen. So previously I was from Ngee Ann Poly before this, and before that I was in the army. So after the army I actually decided to come to ID to pursue my studies. So previously I was in product design in Ngee Ann Poly. So from there I thought of pursuing design further in NUS.
So what were you studying in Poly? Is it product design?
Yeah.
So what made you come to DID NUS when you're choosing schools?
I guess ID, like I heard from people, it is more well versed in the industry, so like there is more things to learn in NUS, like UI UX. I haven't even touched that in Ngee Poly before. I came in, there's like human centric, which we don't really touch in Ngee Poly as well. So I guess there's a lot more. It's kind of more detailed in a way for ID in NUS. It's more intensive as well. So be prepared if you're coming.
Yeah, as in, thanks for sharing. Actually, there's one like common question that I've been getting for people who've already applied,
Right.
but then they're anxious, they're scared whether they're really like for this course, like suited for this course. So what do you think? Like you said, like be prepared. Like what do you think are 3 like important character traits that someone needs to be a designer?
I think one of it is time management. Definitely, all your projects, there will be a very strict timeline. So if you don't stick to that timeline, you'll be very stressed out.
Yeah.
So it is more of like planning way ahead of time, so that you can have a buffer.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess it's kind of like the same in the industry as well. Usually you have projects outside. You need to meet a certain deadline, and you can't really say no to that deadline. You need to just
Stick with it.
stick with it. So I think time management is one key point as a designer.
Has that been your biggest struggle?
I guess some projects there will be a few struggles here and there. Other projects are a little more smooth. So we have these platforms, right? And depending on the platforms you choose, might be different as well. The different brief, the different ideas that is coming.
But you meet different challenges that when you try different projects, you're saying.
Yeah, definitely.
So Sherwin, what are like some other traits like, besides time management?
I think you need to be, in a way, quite visionary, but also have perseverance at the same time, because a lot of students come into ID like wanting to start doing design, and they have these really big ideas, which are really good, but then you realize that they're really hard to pull through and really finish it well, especially within the time frame. And so like having those visionary ideas is really important, but you gotta have the perseverance to pull yourself through it.
Thanks, Sherwin. Yeah, agree. Kiyoung?
Well, I think to make it in the school, I think they kind of cover it.
It's really loud, sorry.
Time management is one of them, and a lot of students that comes here, I think they have ideas, they are creative, they have some talent there, but I think the biggest thing is perseverance. Sometimes they hit a bit of roadblock, and there they go, they're lost. And another one I thought that is that I'm sure it's not just in Singapore. The newer students are very afraid of making mistakes. I think that may be baggage from JC or before. So design is not such a field. Like they say, fail faster to succeed sooner. That's a good phrase. You don't try, you don't know. And if you have solutions that are so obvious that you don't try and you know it's going to succeed, what solution is that? I mean, it will be so obvious everybody's doing the same thing, so you don't differentiate. So sometimes being not afraid to fail is quite critical to performing well in this program. It's also the biggest obstacle I faced supervising students. And I think it's not covered here, but I think the ability to work with others that may be very different from you is a really plus point. That's what happens in the industry. You can't pick and choose a partner. So and these days real projects in the industry are so like cross-disciplinary. And a lot of time the brief is so abstract and vague because now designers are supposed to find the issue, the problem, and issues to solve. The client, stakeholder will not tell you because they don't know themselves. So you need to work with lots of people. And in school, we try to do project in groups at the same time. So you are well trained. By the time you get out there, right, you don't have a problem doing that. So the ability to work as a group, I think, is critical. Almost critical.
Yeah, I think for me also that's like the biggest challenge. Like always relearning how to work well with very different types of people every semester. Because it's never the same, never the same approach also. But yeah, failing fast, that was like my biggest challenge, but the biggest learning factor also. We have one question actually. Hey, thanks guys. Oh yeah, so for those just join in, there's 6 people now. We have Prof Ki Hong and year 4 student Sherwin and Unwei. Okay. Hey, thanks guys for being here. Okay, we have one question from whoops, accidentally selfie. Sorry. We have one question from Cannot lah.
Last one.
He's been coming in for like every live chat.
Wow.
He's already signed up for ID lah. Okay. How do you handle mental blocks when you're trying to create something new?
You're asking?
Whoever. Who wants to answer
I
this?
can answer first.
Yes.
I think there's this also misconception that for laymen or people out there that wow, you sit somewhere very inspiring, sipping latte, and this boom, you got this idea. It doesn't happen like that. As a professional designer, like I go from that angle first. You're supposed to perform consistently. That's how you succeed. Consistency. You need to rely on tools and methods. There are processes that helps you to do that. You can find books out there, but nothing beats learning that within the context of a specific topic. So that's where you can learn a lot of those stuff here. I think even in year 1 or even year 2, I'm not sure. We do have specialized classes to show you how to do that. So a lot of time it's just like in many fields, in fact, it's not just design. Even in computer science, sometimes when you're faced with problems that are so daunting that nobody can solve, sometimes, for example, you just bring in randomness into the picture, or you just change the constraint, push down the constraint, solve it, take back the constraint, and deal with it at the same time. There are many methods out there. These are just 2 ways that I just mentioned. There are ways to do it. So, do not worry, it happens to all of us. It's impossible to go day in, day out, project after project with no mental block. That's just impossible. So there are tools to help you do that.
So you're saying that the 2 ways are the first one, trying to randomize it, so like force merging.
Yeah, just randomize like factors. So you are not looking at the same thing day in, day out. I think to approach something the same way, expect different result, like Einstein said, it's just be crazy. So we're trying to dislodge you. So for example, right, if you take a transport bus to work every day, to school every day, you take the same route unless there's a jam, there's something happening. So in a way, we are solving problem that way. We try to create a jam, a blockage there, to force you to approach things from another way. That's the randomness part.
Actually, maybe you could share with us a bit more, maybe like using an example of a project that you've worked on. Like what was the brief and what was the first thing that you did to approach the brief?
Well, the ones that, it's quite hard to just pull out something like that. But,
I'll put you on the spot.
One of them, sometimes let me mention a third method because I was just discussing with someone, sharing. I led the team to design a pentoxin hospital pharmacy, plain layout. You can see that the one the robotic arms. So when we go there, it's not about just going there, sit there, and try to get inspired and solving it. We actually put our whole research team there. We see how people struggle to get their job done. And you see the stakeholder themselves trying to deliver the services. And you try to note down all the pain points. Of course, you note down all the good things about that place at the same time. And for example, then we zoom down to one area. We noticed a lot of elderly folks on wheelchairs. They were doing one of 2 things that is quite maybe not so efficient and also not so good for the user experience. One is that the counters are standing counters. So we see people propping themselves up on wheelchair Lots of them are doing that. 2, instead of waiting at the designated wheelchair zone, they are actually waiting way behind pillars, behind people. So when we found out, we interviewed them, we checked with them, why are they doing that? They feel that they actually are blocking people. They have this low self-esteem that they are actually a burden. So because of all this, we actually designed a separate corner just for wheelchair users. And we also noted they come with the family, their friends, their spouse. So we make it so that they can actually roll in into the counter and then get served on their wheelchair. And there are seats there, so the people that come with them can sit together. And they wait together with the other wheelchair users. So they don't feel like they're like blocking anybody else, and they don't waste time rolling from the back to the front. They're already there. So everybody wins. Customer wins, stakeholder wins. So this is another method where we actually drive the design through research data.
Thanks again for sharing on the fly. So you're saying that maybe one reason why we would have a mental block in the first place, can't move, is because we don't know enough.
Yeah.
We have not enough data points.
Yeah.
So
You're
to
just
go
sitting
back
there,
to the user.
You're just sitting there trying to solve it, staring at the ceiling, and that doesn't really work.
Yeah, that's a good one. Thanks, Kyung. Anything to add? If not, Sherwin. Okay. Hey, Sherwin.
What am I supposed to say after the prof has already said all the methods?
No, different people got different approaches. What are your secrets?
Wow. Well, yeah, there's definitely like lots of different methods. Like one of them is randomizing, just like Prof said. For me, like if I'm really stuck, sometimes I just hands off and then just go for a walk. You know, just go meet people, see something new. Like change up your schedule. Don't just always go to the office. Go do work. Because I feel like when your mind is less stressed, you can kind of think better, like think more creatively.
Yeah.
Something that I've learned over the past few years is the importance of having like fresh eyes, which is like, let's say you've been working on your project for like
There are
a few
heart
months.
shapes going up
Oh,
as
wow.
you speak.
You've been working on a project for a really long time, and you've just been like looking at the same thing. It's really nice to have someone who's not seen your project before to have a look at it, which is what I mean by fresh eyes, and they can kind of pick out like, oh, what's working about it, what's not working, and kind of give you ideas which you've never thought of before. So that's like another method that I use. That's what I can think of right now.
Agree. I think for me, right, I know in theory that it's good to have fresh eyes to look at the project if I'm stuck. But then for me, like I think last time, especially thesis, because the project felt so personal, that you don't even want to hear what other people think about it. So that's always a barrier. But it's a barrier to cross. Yeah, it always helps when you're talking to people. Even like unofficially, like over dinner, like with a prof or something, or friends. Yes.
I think you definitely have to balance like, between getting public opinion and putting your personal self in the project, because both are equally important, like your voice in the project versus how other people perceive it, because in the end you're still designing for other people, right? So it's important to see how they look at the project.
Yeah, actually this was brought up when we had the chat with Brian. They were saying that actually how to fail as a designer, like if you're just self-absorbed in your own project, like you're in your own world and you don't want to get in front of other people, you're not asking people for more data points. Yeah, but by nature you're designing for people, so you always have to work with people with different disciplines.
I think
to learn
like
from
another
others.
analogy that I could just think of is for writers that write novels and stuff, like some advice that like experienced writers give to novice writers is that you should write when you're drunk and you edit when you are sober. And that's because like when you write when you're drunk, all these ideas start flowing, because when you're, I'm not like supporting drinking, but I'm just saying that
Responsibly.
when you're in a more relaxed state, ideas flow naturally because you don't really think about all those constraints. It's like what Keon said, you remove the constraints and you see like what ideas flow, and then when you come back with a more sober mindset, you can see like, okay, what works, what doesn't work. And writers regularly also consult their editors, which is getting fresh eyes. So it's not just in design that we do this, it's every creative industry will have to do something like this.
Yeah, actually since you're mentioning about this, like sometimes, I mean people tend to think of more ideas when they're relaxed, and there's this thing called like game storming, right? Brainstorming, but game storming. Actually Don teaches it more like in his studios. Yeah, so there are ways to facilitate this with your group, and you will learn them along the way lah. Yeah, setting like time constraints, treating ideation like it is a game or a competition. Sometimes those strategies would help. Okay. Thanks, Sherwin, for sharing. Okay, Erwin, how do you handle like mental blocks when you're trying to create something new?
So I guess mental blocks, definitely you'll meet them. So one way is to have repetition in what you're doing. So you continue just like researching, looking into your projects. Your prof will definitely challenge you to think further and think deeper into your projects. But sometimes, like I guess as students, we always think a lot, maybe too much. So my best advice would be, maybe sometimes the best idea is like the most simple idea. Sometimes, yeah. So using the most simple idea to solve the hardest problem might be one way to like progress in a project, and also to overcome these mental blocks. Yeah, but repetition is definitely key to like moving forward. Other than that, when I meet a mental block, like Sherwin, usually I will just take a break for a while and then come in after a while, when your mind is a little bit more fresh. So yeah, you can just exercise, you can just like go down, have coffee, something like that.
Exercise is good.
Exercise is good.
Yes.
Something
Yeah.
we don't get enough of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks anyway. Actually, do you have an example of a project where you found that a simple solution worked better than your original solution?
I have this project called Amber Stove. So previously,
Oh, your Kickstarter project,
yeah,
Amber Stove.
it was a Kickstarter project. It's basically a stove that can be collapsed, and so initially I was very stuck with conflicting ideas within the group, and how I managed to solve it was just like gather everyone and just, how do you call it?
Brainstorm together.
Yeah,
Brainstorm
brainstorm
together.
together. So having that mental block of wait, do this, wait, do that. So basically, I'm designing something with fire, right? So initially, I didn't really know a lot about fire, and I had to do a lot of research to back my ideas. Yeah, so I guess it still comes back to repetition. You need to constantly look for like research to back up your ideas, and also to test like prototypes, things like that, to ensure that your idea actually works. Yeah, so I think that is that will help push mental blocks.
Yeah. So not to be afraid of it, but there's a reason
Yeah.
why there's a block,
Yeah.
because there's something that you don't know.
Yes.
Yeah. So either you can approach it by having a drink, taking a break, exercise.
Yes.
Exercise.
Yeah, put yourself in a more relaxed state, or consult other people, or like go down to the field and get more like data points. Yeah, to move forward. Wait, I think there were more. Okay, but we'll see. Okay, thanks. I hope that answers your question. Cannot lah. Okay, there are about 10 people here, and more questions. Okay. Okay, get one question from Aloysius Xavier. Okay, more admin question. Hey guys, just wondering which is more important when it comes to admission in this course? Okay, the sentence is not complete. Academic transcripts or what? Aloysius, if you're here, you can just type into the chat. I think he means academic transcripts or portfolio, or passion.
I'm not in charge of admin, but I do understand that you need to meet certain education requirement, academic requirement. So we take that as a gate. So once you enter the gate, right, you're shortlisted. We'll interview and we'll do a quick test on you, just to see whether how suitable.
Oh, okay. Sorry. He says, is it more important when it comes to admission what is more important when it comes to admission, academic transcripts or real world experience?
I don't know. We do have both kinds coming in. And real world one, some of our students actually have working experience. So my recent one, we have one that have been working in a consultancy, doing actual industry projects. We have another one that come from a digital agency that was doing UI UX. And she's here to take on ID course. So we have both kinds. And of course, we have a lot of people that come here with very good academic result. But I think those are actually, I would say, those are actually means which we value whether you are suitable for the course. It is quite an intensive course, and unfortunately, that's the best way to learn. You do and practice, learn and you practice it. So it's just a mean of regulating student coming in. Because we do not have a lot of space, we are quite a small program. I don't think I'm able to answer in very detail, but
yeah, because
you can write in if you want.
Yeah, because it depends. Because the first round is not really under our control, under the faculty's control. It's under NUS admissions.
Yeah, I think it's under NUS admission. We can't control that. Of course, some of the borderline case you can actually appeal. Means you fail to get in, you can appeal. But do bear in mind, right? Say for example, if you put engineering as a first choice, or architecture as a first choice, and ID as a second choice, you will go to engineering or archi because they have a lower admission grades than we do. So you go there. So even if you end up there, you want to come here, you got to appeal after that.
Yeah. Okay. Aloysius, have you already submitted your rankings? I think you can still edit it if you're really keen on joining. Then it's better to put it as a first choice. Yeah, if you compare the different IGP indicative grade profiles. Yeah, and okay, actually we also have this Reddit post that a student wrote with the help of a professor. That one will give you more tips on how to admit yourself into ID, like if you're really interested. Yeah, because everybody will be shortlisted for an interview, and once that happens, you don't really look at the grades.
Yeah, we don't look at your
So what do you look out for during the interview?
I think we just look out for proofs that you're actually interested in this field. You're not just coming in because you heard that someone come in with no clear reason. So we look out for how passionate you are. So we look out for your hobbies, like what do you do and things that you've done, to give us some clue to that. Just saying that you are crazy about design and you have done absolutely nothing, I mean that doesn't give us a lot of confidence in you. So I think it's not to try to keep people out for keeping people out, but we just want to make sure once you come in, right, you are able to do well and succeed and excel here. So that's our only intention.
That it's a suited course for you, lah.
Yeah, because it is quite an intensive course. So I think it's more for those that are really serious about the course. They're really passionate about it.
Actually, any advice on how to prepare for the interview? Did you go for the interview?
Yeah. Watch all the videos. Watch all the links that was in the.
Yes.
I can't remember what, but there was some videos.
Yeah. Watch everything in the entry prep kit. It's downloadable in the website. Please go there.
Maybe I'll add on to that video thing. I think the video was selected to give a cross section of relevant topics here because unfortunately I think the public has quite a wrong perception of what design is about. It's not just about designing really pretty stuff. It's not about just styling or that. I think you don't have to come anywhere to do that. Today it covers many topics, and a lot of graduates actually goes on to even helping to forge public policy in the government through design thinking processes. They work in hospitality, business consulting firm. They work in design consultancy. So there's a wide range. Some of them become entrepreneurs. There's a wide range, and we want you to watch the video also to get you acclimatized to what industrial design is about, so you don't come in with the wrong idea. and I think it's best you watch that, not just to come in, but after you watch that, if you still feel like coming in, then okay, I think then that's a good choice. So don't just come in just because it happened to be a cool buzzword, hey, design.
If you watch it and you kind of like, oh, I don't really understand what's going on, then maybe it's not like really for you. Because this course is really intensive. Like, I mean, when we came in, we were still in our old studio, which was really like
Dark and gloomy.
yeah, really bad infrastructure wise. Like now you can see it's like really nice, and I could see why some people might want to come here to study just because the environment is nice, but that really should not be the main reason why you come here, because once you're here it's grueling, you know. You'll start to hate the studio after a while because you just spend so much time here. So you have to really be like persevere and really want to do design.
Honey, any advice for those who are applying?
I think for starters, you will lose a lot of sleep because you will not know what directions you are actually looking for. And I think as time progresses, you kind of get the gist, and then you work according to your own style. So I think for the first few periods, definitely it will be very intensive, like what Prof said. You will not be sleeping a lot, but not trying to scare you. It's actually a good thing because it actually trains you to be more focused, more determined in the project, and also I think trying to find the passion for design is also key to I think passion is very important in design. If you're not passionate, then maybe design, industrial design is not.
Maybe I add to it. So
Thanks, Anwi.
maybe just add to it, just not to scare everybody away. It's like a torture chamber. Okay, just to say, all right, design right, is frankly not a field where you kind of just come here, you get a piece of paper, a degree, right? And then you kind of go out and you get a job just like an accountant or something. I think it rewards those that at the top tier really well. It's a really nice job. I enjoy it. I've been doing this for like over 2 decades. I still enjoy it. I can't imagine doing anything else. But for those that are at the bottom part of the curve, right, it is not a very rewarding experience. And a lot of time, what separates the one in the top and the bottom, right? I think it's just that you're willing to go further. You are willing to experiment more. You are just willing to put in that effort to be the very best, or at least at the cream of the crop to deliver. And it's no different from a lot of other fields. I mean, you can be a really doctor that's just going nowhere, or you can be a top surgeon or something else, or just anything else. You can be a chef, okay, or you can be a cook. We follow other people's recipe. So even if you want to be a chef, you want to be a top chef. You don't want to be a guy that cooks in a 24-hour restaurant. Right? Okay, you want to achieve the very top. So I think what we're trying to do here is that I think we're training people, and not just training them, but I think we're also identifying their strength and their potential. We really want to stretch them as far as we can, and in the process, right? We can't do that by just looking at them and giving a few simple exercises. We give them topics that are quite real world. Topics that many times not much different from what they will encounter when they get out to the job market. And if we actually oversimplify stuff, we create a very artificial environment. It's all fake. And when they go out, right, that's assuming that even fortunate enough, we even get a job. They're going to get a very, very rude shock, and so will the people that hire them. They will not last very long there. So we need that kind of intensity. And I think to me, it's not really intensive. I mean, coming from industry, it's just that for students, they don't know what they don't know. They're benchmarking from something else, or they're benchmarking from maybe someone in another faculty, simpler programs. So I think what we do is absolutely necessary. It's for the students' good, frankly, and that's why we want to, at the admission, want to make sure that they do have certain level of passion, minimal level to actually coast through this comfortably. And when we say put in the time and effort, it's not that we are tying them to the office or the chair and making them do stuff. But I think it's actually many times they themselves want to stay because they want us also make sure that the piece of work they're doing is absolutely perfect. And
Right.
on the day
They're
they
nodding.
show, right? On the day they show it, right? They do wow. Everybody's watching that piece of work. I think that's what they're trying to do. And when you're trying to do that, right, actually you forget about time. And sometimes you forget about sleep a bit. So it's not about torturing them.
It's not about torture, definitely.
Yeah. Just I don't make it clear because it's
No, it's not torturing. So I guess the most satisfying part is to see your project like wow everyone. Like everyone just go like, whoa, I didn't thought of that. Yeah, so I guess that is very rewarding as a student as well. Or like for my Kickstarter project, my Ender Stove, like from that very first idea into production, yeah, that kind of thing. So I think it's very rewarding. So I guess it's kind of worth it as well. Yeah.
So how much investment do you get in Kickstarter?
I don't want to say that.
So seeing your ideas come to fruition, that to you has been quite a good motivating factor. Yeah. Thanks. Thanks, Young. So I hope that answers your question, Aloysius Xavier.
Or rather not scare you away.
I mean, things that will lead to grow in learning how to manage your time. But okay, there's a lot of questions. Okay, actually a lot from Aaron. The whole time that you were talking, he's been sending heart shapes.
Aaron.
Yeah.
Aaron.
Okay. Okay. So since you're talking about like passion, Prof, can you share with us your favorite projects?
Actually, you know, I have many favorite projects and evolved through time. Actually, one of my favorite in the term of say changing my outlook to design. Actually, it's the project I just mentioned earlier, Tan Tock Seng Hospital's layout. I was just sharing that I've done many things in my whole career, but when I did that, right, that project, and I can see after I'm done, and how it benefited so many people every single day at Tan Tock Seng Hospital Pharmacy. Right?
Wilmer says hi.
Who is that?
Wilmer.
Oh, Wilmer, hi. So I do look at design differently. It makes me want to do more social related projects. So like for example here, I do a lot of projects on aging. I work with MOM mainly. Right now I'm working at Samsung this semester, also on aging, creating products for aging. And that project alone has driven me to a certain direction in my career.
Thanks, Young. Actually, what you guys? You want to share more about your favorite projects? No?
No.
Okay.
He
Okay.
brought something so he can share.
Yeah, so
Okay, Anwei.
a stove. Yeah, so basically it's a stove where you can actually fold up and then you light it up. It creates something called a vortex fire. So you will be doing projects like that, which is kind of fun, and you don't get to do this anywhere else. Yeah, so I guess in ID it challenges you to push design. Yeah, so this is basically, I don't know if you can see.
Yeah. Okay, maybe to give some context, this was part of
This
one
was
of the
part
platform
the
studios, right?
Platform studios we have. So there
What
will
was
be
the brief?
The brief was to create a Kickstarter project and to launch it on Kickstarter. So
In 13 weeks, right?
in 13 weeks. So it was a very challenging period because it was very short span. So within that short span, right, you have to create something, a product, and then you have to launch it. But there are also like monetary rewards for that. And I guess in ID it helps. Not only can you just go into design consultants or things like that, you can actually maybe go into entrepreneurship, into your own business through the design thinking and the processes. Yeah, so I guess that was one favorite project of mine. Yeah.
Thanks, anyway. I mean, I typed it in there. Like, if you want to check it out, it's Ember Stove, and it was successfully backed on Kickstarter.
Yeah, it was
last
back,
2 years ago or last
2 years
year?
ago. It's
2 years
currently
ago.
in production.
Okay, thanks, anyway. Maybe actually already 40 minutes. So if you need to leave, like, feel free to leave.
3 more minutes. Yeah.
3 more
Any
minutes.
last question?
Okay, let me check about see more questions. Okay, most of the questions okay, there's one question from Jamana Murthy. If a design firm wanted to work with some of you, would you guys accept the offer? Is this a different design firm? I don't know.
To the prof or
Uh,
to students? Or
Jamana Murthy, are you asking as a student or are you like a design firm? Okay, let me just wait for you to respond first. But before that, maybe I can just ask more like
job to do.
a closing question. Maybe like what's to you like the most important, like the most valuable 2 or 3 lessons that you learned in like your 4 years in ID. Doesn't have to be like hard like skills, but just lessons.
I have one. Work hard, play hard.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
What do you mean by that?
so you work really, really hard to produce that I don't know, the final idea, and also to have breaks in between, have fun, and just enjoy the process. So I guess that will make it more, it will make the time pass faster.
Thanks, Henry.
I think for me, it's like to not be afraid to fail, to constantly like try new things. Because like in design, it's very iterative. You always make many prototypes, and sometimes like out of maybe 100 of them, like only one of them would really work. And it's really just pushing through and like trying to keep working even all through all the failures. So it's probably like one of the most valuable things I learned from this course.
Yeah, same. Biggest struggle, but biggest learning point. Yeah, learning to fail fast. Hey, thanks, guys. I think it's been already 45 minutes, so if you have any burning questions, can ask us now. If not, we'll probably wrap up. Okay, there's like 2 more questions from... okay, I'll take Aaron's question. Is it better to start your own studio or join a company, in your opinion? Okay, but this is for Prof Som and he's not here.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe what would you guys want to do after graduation?
Start own studio or what?
Huh? No, but it's from Aaron.
Oh, Aaron.
You want to
you okay like?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay,
So
coming
the question
back.
is
it better to start your own studio or join a company, in your opinion?
I joined a company. What I did was I joined a very good company. They have been winning a lot of awards. So I graduated overseas and I work for Ziba, which is quite a well-known company. So with that, I'm able to actually understand the process, how they deal with customer, how they process project, how they deliver, how to present. Why be on create your own learning curve? I mean, you get paid to do that is better. And also on the CV looks great. I mean, you work for a good company. After that, I changed to HP. So I want to see the difference between a world-class design firm consultancy and the corporate design office. So from there, I learned about certain systems, how to deal with like corporate clients. So I can see the inner workings, how they improve project. That combined together, I'm in a much better position to start my own firm. And over there also, I get to touch like the state-of-the-art equipment, which otherwise I wouldn't be able to afford. And I can try them out day in, day out. So once I'm ready to start, right, I know like almost exactly like what I need to buy, my budget, what the client need to approach. The whole task of setting up is crystal clear, or almost crystal clear. I mean, after I started, I see then I realized actually there's still a lot that I didn't know. I wish I had stayed longer, but I spent about 3 years working before I start my own, and it's still around. And I still go back and I practice on some project. And you can see at designexchange.com. You can see some of my work there. Designexchange.com. Okay,
Thanks. Let's go. So yeah, do you guys know what you guys want to do after graduation?
For me, like I'm going to join a design consultancy, so that I can learn from like teams that are like really good at what they do. I've tried the kind of corporate in-house approach also. It's very different paths, but for me I would prefer the consultancy approach because you get so many different types of projects. If you work in-house at a company, you tend to do very similar projects. So for example, like if you're working for a company that makes irons or lights, then you just constantly be doing that day in, day out. But if you're working at a consultancy, then you kind of get more varied projects. Anyway, should know this.
Yeah.
So
Quite a lot of
I
experience.
actually worked in a design consultant before. It is definitely very different from school setting, but I guess school setting actually helps to push you into the industry, where we actually work in teams, like in platforms and things like that. So I guess that is a very key important point when you go into the industry, because you do not know who you are working with, and or you do not know what you are working with or for. So I guess maybe you can take ID as a form of a training to push yourself further into the industry. Yeah, and I think it all dives down to passion. Yeah, so yeah.
Thanks anyway. Hey, thanks guys for spending like almost an hour. Okay, thanks guys for all your good questions. Hope Aaron, this was helpful. Okay, maybe any last words, like one advice that you would give someone who's just going to start uni, like how to approach your 4 years.
Approach 4 years.
4 years. I think definitely like
just have fun.
okay,
Yeah.
but also like I think keep an open mind, keep an open heart. Like I think this 4 years of your life will probably be the most exciting. You meet the most people, you get exposed to the most opportunities. That's why like I feel like you should really be open to everything. Like, I know it might be difficult if you join design to kind of do other CCAs because you don't have a lot of time, but like I do encourage like that because doing something on the side is always a good thing. Yeah.
Aaron is saying, my heart only open to you, Sherwin.
Aww.
Too bad you can't see the screen. Anyway, last advice.
Last advice. So just do it. So
Yeah, just do it.
Just do it.
yeah, that should be. Tell yourself that all the time, every day. Just do it. If you don't know what you're doing,
as in, if you don't know what you're gonna do, then
try.
You can just try. If you don't like it, then you can always try something else. But
Designer mindset.
Yeah.
Try and try, fail and just try something
you
else.
you just keep trying and trying and trying, failing. Yes, and I guess at the end you will definitely reach your end goal.
Which is
Okay, some people maybe you'll reach like faster, some people slower. Yeah, and but at the end of the day, you'll definitely reach that end goal. So yeah, just have fun. And coming into uni for 4 years, it will be tiring, but just keep on pushing, and everything will be fine. Yeah.
yes, yeah. You're trying to learn it. Okay, thanks guys.
Thank you.
Okay, this is I guess the end of the second last chat.
Yeah.
Douglas just joined. If you have more questions, feel free to join our last one tomorrow. will be our last one with Dr. Yan. It'll be like 1 hour long. Actually, this is 1 hour long. So yeah, just tune in. Okay, thanks guys. Hope this was helpful. Bye. Thanks Sherwin. Thanks Wei. Bye.